All right, here we go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gents, to the final pod of the season. I hope everyone's well. We're joined remotely. I think producer Mark, he's either done his back in again or he's away gallivanting and traveling, but we are joined with here today by Duncan Duncan,
Hello.
Blissy,
Good evening, good morning, so wherever you
Did you
are,
just
whatever
wave?
commuter train. People could watch this on YouTube. Remember that.
and we've got Pete Christie as well. Hey, Pete.
Hi, good to be back.
Yeah, great to see you, pal. We've got Podfather Sneed quietly, studiously
Drinking
plugging away
port.
in, drinking port in the Snannex and having fun. So it's our last pod, guys. Have a wee guess. How many pods have we done?
Well,
30. No,
20,
just less than 30.
27.
29.
29. I don't actually know. I was asking. I was Jenny asking you.
Right.
So a good solid 20 plus hours of content from this group. And it's been an absolute privilege and a pleasure. We've got lots of stuff to catch up on today. And in fact, we're joined already by a very special guest. Blissy, one of your front row companions. Everyone give it snaps and pretend to clap for Lips.
Hello, hello. Thank you for having me along.
Yes, Lips.
Good.
Welcome.
Good
Thank you very
evening,
much.
Christopher.
Good evening,
Christopher.
So, Lips, we brought you along because some of us were at the end of season do on Saturday night. Some of us still struggling from the end of season do on Saturday night. And we recognised there that Ryan had done 5 years as captain. So, mate, talk us through Ryan. Like, what's he like?
I mean, me and Ryan had quite a nice. We decided after the end of season dinner when we let all the young guns go off to London, we went back to Ryan's for a couple of extra bottles of red. Had a nice reminisce, which felt stupid the next day, but for what it was at the time, very romantic. Nice reflection on his past 5 years. So got a good bit of insight as to why he's stepping down, his decision making, and which I won't go into his personal reasons, but he it was really nice to catch up with him. So I mean, for me, just a brilliant guy all round. I think for me, your rugby mates are a little bubble away from the hustle and bustle of life. And I've certainly found that at Cobham, and Ryan, for me and for many others, that's been a huge part of that sort of weekend escape. A whole different set of mates to the ones you normally spend your time with and away from work. And Ryan has been a testament to that. And he he lives and breathes Cobham. He hasn't even done the classic Cobham schoolboy thing of moving to Southwest London. He still lives within a 1 mile vicinity of the club. So whether that was a rugby decision or a life decision, well, I'm unsure. But a brilliant guy who just epitomises everything good about the club.
Fine words. Fine words. Duncan.
Yeah, I found Ryan to be one of the friendliest guys at the club. He sort of seems to make time for anybody that goes up to him and has a chat, and he's very open, and I appreciate that. It helps when your one's captain is like keen to get along with everyone. I saw him in a pub after I'd played a game of softball up in Regent's Park, a pub up near Camden, and immediately went and bought like a tray of sambucas and got stuck in with him. And it's always up for a good time. I also remember there was a Quins under 23s game or something, and his brother was playing, and because obviously I've known Ryan for a lot longer than I've known his brother. I sledged him from the side, clearly telling him that he's not even the best scrum half in his family.
He does. That's the best, but no, I can Duncan was meant to ask Lips, as I can, as it was written down on the
I don't have the
production
notes in
sheet,
front of me.
which is
Sorry.
it, yeah, which I can now reveal the podcast does read off and doesn't just flow seamlessly as we kind of make it appear. What do you think Ryan's best moment as captain was? Over his half decade at the helm of the
Do
ship.
you know what? I actually asked some of the boys today to sort of give, because I don't know if it's too many head knocks, too many scrums. My memory is atrocious. I've got some good ones myself, but I asked a few of the boys. So I've written a few down in preparation. So I've done more work for the pod today than I actually have done actual work, I think. I think for me, I mean, last season, was it 12, 13 game unbeaten run was absolutely massive. And I think, he was one of the drivers for that. I think the 2019 season, we had one of our best finishes in London 1. I think we came 5th. I mean, it was a short-lived season, disrupted by COVID. But Ryan sort of dealt with that really well. And my biggest memory of that year was Westcombe Park at home.
Yes.
I think they were top of the league. They're absolutely flying in. They won that 3 now, or not sure. Yeah. But I think Yanni got a red card sort of midway through, or quite early on actually, and we managed to stick it out and get the win there. So that's one of the or 2 of the highlights. And I think it was his 100th cap against Irish at home. He scored an absolute worldie of a try. Broke the fullback's ankles, I'm pretty sure, as he went through, and the try against Cornish this season. There's so many to rattle off, but just all of that is topped off by him. He was such a brilliant conduit between the coaches and the players, and I think at club rugby there can often be some disconnect, but actually he was such a good balance between Popey and the team, and now Davo and the team. And I think that all of those moments are capped off by his ability to sort of relay what the coaches in the club want.
And what about the worst ones? How many DOTDs does he have? How frequently?
I have one, but I'll let Lip say his first. I'm interested to see if mine comes up as well.
Strangely enough, my list of bad things is as long as my ones of good. So I think his red card versus Medway last year at home, he'd just come back from injury, came on the pitch for probably tops 10 minutes and said something cheeky to the ref, whereby he got red carded. It was rescinded, but he's always going to stand by. He didn't say anything. But I've got 4 from various boys, all relating to Havant away. There's something about Havant away. Rory Penfold said he dropped the ball onto the post. We got Joe Goddard saying Ryan taps and went when we had a kick right in front of the post to win the game. I think for the first time ever down there, he tapped and went and didn't score. J-Mac also Havant away. He didn't pass in the final play. He had a 4-man overlap. He dummied and went and didn't score the try. And again, that would have been our first time winning down in Havant. So there's something about Havant away. And also one more, J-Mac seems to think there is a 5-year-long conspiracy where he schemes with the opposite captain to give themselves man of the match. So probably not as many days as you've had Duncan. More man of the matches, I think.
Lips is Pete. What's he like when he's had a few beers?
Do you know what? When Duncan brought up the fact he was buying the shots, I was going to say he's a fairly good boozer for a 9, I'd say.
He's one of the better boozy 9s I've come across. That is the genuine. He's slightly larger than a lot of the 9s he's come across, to be fair, as well. So that might go somewhat hand in hand, is that his height does help him.
Yeah, he is a good boozer. He
leads by example.
He does lead by example. I mean, I spent the last 20 minutes of the end of season dinner of him trying to outscrum Louis Porter, which was fun. He also forced me to get a picture of 5 pictures of him in front of his 5 captain names up on the board. So he's very proud when he's drunk. But no, a brilliant guy to be around with on the piss. So
And what's next? What's your bad moment, Blissy?
Oh no, my bad moment was having away. It was a genuinely shocking moment when I think Haven had literally just gone. They'd gone down to 13 men. We had a scrum. We had a scrum on their line, against 6 men, who everyone was just like, well, we'll just push them over, get a penalty try, or just on number 8 can dot it down. The scrum started to move forward and Ryan moved it away. So immediately, everyone's sort of like, okay, not the game plan, but whatever. We then kind of get held back for a bit. They concede a penalty for offside. So it's like, all right, knock over the 3. Yeah, and kind of see out a game against an understrength Haven to win a famous victory down on the coast, just up the road from the largest council estate on the planet, with Theo Buffini's dad having driven his red Ferrari to the game. So kind of, it would have been an unbelievable Cobham moment to come away with the points of that. But then Ryan, as Lip said, tapped and went, got bundled, dropped the ball over the line, and it was a long walk back to us for him at that particular point. And haven't managed to squeeze away with a win, and we very much enjoyed them telling us in the class afterwards that we'd really given it a good go, and we would really put on a great show for everyone. It's been like, yes, Ryan, you did. But look, Ryan has provided over his time, I'd say, definitely a lot more good moments than bad.
100%.
But has also managed to secure himself a lot of either free pints through getting him being awarded man of the match, or just kind of go, oh well, our dick of the day's not here, so I guess someone has to drink this, and he's standing at the front.
I heard that he likes buses almost as much as me.
He does love a bus.
No, he does love a bus.
It's a shame we haven't had more this season, to be honest.
Yeah.
He does enjoy them. And don't we all, Blissy?
We certainly do. So wine on cheese on an anonymous A or M road really does go down delightfully.
Well, especially with these new A roads that are 20. But anyway, what's next? Lippy, what is he going to carry on playing? Is it just captaincy, or is that
I think it is just captaincy.
Okay.
I can't imagine he has any intention to be stop playing now. But he's assured me he is playing for the foreseeable, but just felt it was the right time to step down. And I actually think, as a captain, knowing that for yourself and knowing the right time to step down is actually a huge testament to him as a captain. I think I think he would have done it regardless. Didn't have the season we wanted, as you all know, and we all know. I don't think whether we'd had a good season, I don't think the outcome would have changed. And I think it is a bit of a transition year. A lot of the core players we've had for the last 5 to 10 years have stepped away from the club through injuries, children, marriages, whatever that may be. And I think Ryan has recognised his brilliant service, and it's the transition year. We've got some really great young players coming through, and I think recognising that is a huge testament to him. Because I think particularly for myself, last year I was middle of the road age-wise at 26, but come this year at 27, I feel like I'm sort of top 3, top 4 oldest in the squad now. So
except for Murph and Joycey,
except for those boys, it kind of feels that way, and I think Ryan sort of recognised that and felt like the time was right. So definitely playing, but just not as captain.
Shall we all have a guess who's the next captain's going to be?
Yeah, I was going to say, if you're a betting man, Lips, like who would you point at?
I would personally point at a young Mr. Tom Davison. Should he recover from his head injuries he's had this year, and is willing to. I think he will make a brilliant captain for years
I
to
played
come.
played against him on the Boxing Day match, and he's quick and gets around for a back row, or back row, second row.
And I think he's got a good rugby brain. If he's anything like his dad, he has a great rugby brain, and I'm sure he gets over the dinner table lots of tactic talk and all of that. So I think he would be a really good shout for me.
Nice, Blissy.
Okay,
yeah. The more I think about it, the more I kind of want Louis Porter to be captain, because Louis Porter has at kind of just a base level an incredibly intimidating sort of like shark-eyed stare. So if a ref does call him over for a word and ask him to do something, and you just kind of get staring at you, you'd probably like just kind of feel Louis just kind of like staring into your soul.
Deer in the headlights.
Exactly. I think that would really work in our favour quite a bit. And also, if he shouts at you and demands you do something, there's absolutely no way you're ever going to believe that he wouldn't also do that, considering he's maybe got the least kind of the smallest sense of self-preservation of any one person I've ever met in my life.
I think as well, on top of that, I think you want a captain that has those moments on the pitch that are just brilliant and drive. It's not about getting everyone revved up pre-game. It's not about
leading by example.
Yeah, and I think Ryan has certainly done that. With some of the tries he's scored, some of the assists he's given, and someone like Louis Porter or Tom Davo, they offer that. They will do that one thing where you're just you'll stop and you'll be like, geez, how they done that, and it will get you moving forward. So
whilst me and Lips watch from a safe distance.
Yeah. I'll go from one ginger captain to another ginger captain, and I choose Blissy as my not Murph. No, I'll go for Blissy. I think somebody so involved with the club, social secretary, all of those things, gets on with everyone. Is large enough that you wouldn't want to mess with him. I think Blissy could make a good captain.
Well, listen, guys,
we've discussed my win percentage as captain, Mark. It's not good.
Time will tell. Lips, listen, thanks for jumping on and talking about your pal and the leader. And I shall raise a glass to 5 years of outstanding leadership from Ryan. You'd be difficult to replace. But Lips, thanks, and feel free to hang on, by the way, because we're going to do a bit of a review of the season in the pod. But cheers. I'll have a quick sip. Here's to Ryan.
Thanks, Lippy.
Yeah.
Cheers, matey.
Thank you very much. I've got a squash to match you there.
All right.
So there we go. Thank you.
Shall we jump in?
5 Saunders years.
Shall we jump into the Cobham review?
Ooh.
The Cobham review. Don't have anything to drink against my wine glass.
So, all right, here we go. What a season. Minis committee made a real step change to arrange lots more fixtures and festivals for the kids this year. Something like 12 or 13 Sundays where Minis teams have been putting their skills to the test against our neighbours. And so, like, you wouldn't believe, if you're not connected anyway with us, you wouldn't believe the amount of work that goes on in the background. So a huge thanks to the Minis chair, Louise, and the fixtures secretary, Jennifer, for sorting it all out. It's a mammoth task, and it often goes unnoticed. So I think your action there, listeners, is to go and buy them a drink in the bar if you bump into them in Cobham.
Yeah, and along with that, the Minis tour just took place in March with matches on both the Saturday and the Sunday. So not just the one day's worth of matches this year, and that's 8s, 9s, 10s, and 11s, right?
Yeah.
And there was lots of fun in between. And what I like about the Minis tour is that it seems to coincide with the final weekend of Six Nations every year, or has done on like 3 occasions. Huge highlights for the kids and parents, and it was quite an emotional time, end of season. The kids are they're moving up a gear now, so it'll be interesting to see the top end of that group move out. A special shout out to all the girls players that are having to leave their mixed teams after 7 years this month. Only Teleri at Cobham, but also shout out to girls connected to Cobham, namely Talia, Addie, Ashley, and Lola, and all the other girls who can't play us alongside their mates anymore. So well done to them, and hopefully the growth in the girls game continues.
Very nice. And to end the season, 12 players from the under-11s will be off to Monaco for an international invitational sevens tournament in 2 weeks' time, which is absolutely no way connected to their various fathers' financial arrangements. In Cobham, they will meet Montpellier, Andorra, and Den Haag of the Netherlands, whom we know very well. Depending on the results, they will decide who they play the following day. So look out for pictures of the team at the formal dinner.
Good luck, boys. Brilliant.
Brilliant. What a great trip. Youth, a very busy season for the youth teams in both the girls and the boys squads, with multiple teams out each week in most age groups. Some sterling match write-ups through the year, and some names coming back time and time again in the match reports. But well done, everybody. And we hope any injuries are now getting better. Many references to Cobham playing against bigger teams. And I think we're an undefeated team still in one of the cup final days. Excellent.
Who is that in the cup final? Is it maybe the under 15s? It might be.
I think it's under 14s.
Or is it?
One of them. Well, let us know.
Sorry, Waterpolo Cup final days are coming up in the next few weeks. So unfortunately, we don't know the opposition for them yet, but we do know that Cobham is hosting the girls' finals day for the second year in a row on the 21st of April. So starting with starting with under 12s in the morning and finishing with the under 18s by 6 p.m. And then the following week, there'll be loads of teams out playing in their finals day. Please keep an eye on all the social media for match previews and results.
Finally, thank you to all the coaches and referees, especially Jason Corbett, for organizing the referees each week. And after Cup Finals Day, it must mean also that we're in tour season. Last week end had the under-15s touring. Where do you think the under-15s went?
Barrow and Furness.
Western Superman.
Lisbon. They went to Portugal.
I was close.
After their performance in the World Cup, that's exactly where I would want to go and play rugby. That sounds like a great chat. We've not heard anything from them since their return, so hopefully they can give us some feedback and we can have a catch up with them or about them on the return pod.
Enough. And then another final piece. The girls are on tour this weekend to Bath. So who could have possibly arranged that, Mr. Alex? And then there are other tours. So enjoy them, make some memories, and come back with a few bits and pieces that may have been donated from various clubhouses up and down the country.
Yeah.
Are you coming back with cowboy boots and a cowboy hat from Nashville?
I am only if Beyonce signs them, because she does country now.
Let's talk us through the seniors. The last first 15 game of the season, a cracking win.
Oh, we did the double over Coles.
You did.
So, somehow we managed to beat a team twice. No, it was a great send off. Our fine guest Lips, helming the ship in Ryan's absence, as he was unfortunately struck down with a reoccurring injury. The whole chat for the game was obviously kind of been a difficult season, but a huge opportunity here for everyone to really send everyone off on a high, and really assert ourselves and play the rugby that we'd wanted to play all year, and did so. Cole started pretty quick. We fought our way back into it, and then at halftime, given a rousing speech, something out of any given Sunday by Mr. Lippiat, and then we we carried it home and scored 6 tries, took home a big 5 points.
Yeah, good news.
Yeah, to carry us into what was a wonderful evening.
Excellent. Blissy, can I ask you a question? I was looking at the results in Region 2 Southeast, and Old Alanians, something's happened there. They lost 6 games before Christmas, and they didn't lose a game after Christmas. Do you know what was going on with them?
Doping.
I mean, well, yeah, no, yeah. Are you aware of unrefined stallion testosterone, Pete? No. But no. No, OAs are I mean a club that I have a few guys who I know I've played for their kind of thirds and fourths kind of ringers team. Know a few guys and kind of know the area. Spent school very nearby. They've basically kind of had the opportunity to hold on to a few of their guys they wouldn't have held on into in the lower leagues by playing in playing up at level 6. So they've stuck around. So they're that kind of, I think they've hit that really sweet spot of having a group of players who've played together for a very long time, supplemented by picking up a couple of guys who were in the area who wouldn't have been looking at them as a potential option. Because I was speaking to a mate of mine. He said that one of their starting props works for Crystal Palace as part of their under-18 SC setup. So he was on the books of Barnes. Obviously couldn't commit to sort of a Nat 2 rugby alongside Premier League Academy S&C job. So just kind of looked around for clubs, came across OAs, asked if he could come down, just kind of play as much as he possibly could.
Okay.
They obviously said absolutely that'd be fine. And they've had times when he's been up in Newcastle at midday on looking after the under-18s for Crystal Palace, and then kind of for a 3 p.m. kickoff, traveled as quickly as he possibly could down and come on at half time for OAs. So that I think they've kind of just it's one of those nice stories of grassroots rugby, really, where for a season everything just goes right for you, and everything has absolutely gone right for OAs. They've had win on win on win on win, growing in confidence, and they're off to Nat 3, the big time.
So someone told me that we'd used 65 players this year, 46 homegrown. That's quite an achievement. I mean, amazing.
You mean
It certainly is.
That came from the minis?
Minis, homegrown minis and youth.
Minis and youth sections. Tommy Cobham has been taking care of those stats all year. They were given to me at end of season dinner. So I know that they are legit.
Who was top try scorer?
I don't know.
Who got the most DOTDs?
Again, we're not. This is.
These are the big stats. Last try, win the drinking.
There's a couple of things from the mailbag, by the way. So well done to Wilf Sewell on debut scoring.
Yeah,
scoring debut. Well played.
He is lightning quick, that boy.
Yeah, and I didn't realize that Hugh got his first try for the ones as well. The weekend, class.
Yeah, the ever famous inflatable man. Another Nashville tourist. He's found the trial line just in time to confront the Nashville Grizzlies and Nashville RFC.
How exciting that you and he got cot beds for the allocation.
Cot beds?
Well, the roaming air mattresses.
Yes, the inflatable mattresses. Laugh now, but me and Huey can now sleep anywhere in Nashville.
Awesome. And then Ollie Fox and Joe Wag with the other 2 tries. Will Stephen, 100% kicking conversion. Well played.
Dead eye.
Pete, did you what happened to watch the 2s, or were they playing away?
They were away at Old Rogations, I think.
Right. And
it
says in your brackets, we were crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were. They weren't It wasn't quite a fun bus back from Reigate for them,
No.
unfortunately.
No.
Ho hum, but well done to us. 4th in the league. That's pretty good going.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know,
And certainly one of the most, shall we say, consistent teams with putting out a team in that league.
for sure.
And week on week.
It's been a
That's all week on week.
week on week.
Yeah.
Been a privilege,
Only get
pleasure.
better. Only prove.
Been a pleasure to support them on their journey where needed. How about this, guys? Do you want to talk a little bit about some of the Premiership stuff in the Southern Hemisphere, or should we go back through all of the guests that we've had? And, I'm gonna ask you some questions about the guests that we've had on the pod this year.
Let's go guests first, and then
Yes.
Prem Europe.
Okay,
The
give me a
great
second.
Cobham guest review. The one they've all been waiting for.
There's a lot of them. Shall we just go one sentence each?
Well,
There are
I was-
loads. We
well,
have loads of mates. We're really
Yeah.
well connected.
How many guests do you think we've had in the pod?
Oh, you say
18.
you've cheated and not used numbers on the on the production sheet.
18,
Yeah, about Oh, hang on.
No,
Yeah,
wait.
17.
17.
17.
plus lips, 18.
Yeah. There you go.
18.
Yeah.
18.
That's about right. I think there might still be one missing.
Well, actually, no, it is 17 because Dick on Moon's on here twice.
Oh, there we go. Right.
Correct.
Lissy, who has been your best guest and why?
My favorite guest is going to be Georgian fella ?
Yeah.
No, Lashagiani, my good Georgian mate from university, would be one. I think, yeah, he was one of our fairly early ones, and a nice little World Cup special for us, fresh off knocking himself the F***CK out against Australia. So good for him to, whack on a headset and get on, I thought, and stare at a screen for a bit. But I really liked when we had Gabriella and Grace on, because
I agreed.
they were absolutely loving life. Bristol Bears are flying high. I'm pretty sure Grace was still kind of, shall we say, struggling from coming back from skiing, I think. So good on her for coming on.
Yeah.
And they both kicked on and have proven that all you need to do to succeed in rugby is essentially appear on this podcast.
Yeah.
This is it. Unless of course you're Lash, in which case he got his knee taken apart during a game that after the pod. But
yeah, unless you are Lashagiani.
Yeah.
Well, unless you play for the Georgian national team, in which case you will get horrendous injury immediately.
yeah. So
Well,
Grace,
they called out the Welsh. So
Yeah.
Grace was on TV last week, by the way, on the Great British menu. She was spotted as an Olympian that was invited over to France to eat some food. So hello, Grace. Just remember, Grace, where you came from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
keep it
Tickets,
grounded.
so yeah, tickets to the Sevens in Paris.
Pete, who was your? I've got the one here. Who definitely wasn't wearing pants when we interviewed them?
Oh, I can't remember.
Stuart Harris.
Oh, was it? I think
Stu was in a car.
He was in
I'd say
front.
Melts.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely not wearing pants.
I had two that I really enjoyed. I thought Billy Davison tried to get through joining us without telling us about his first class and England A cap career,
Right.
which I thought was bloody cheeky, but he got caught out in the end. And the other one was Carl Dixon, who in the middle of his first World Cup actually put time aside to come and talk to us. And I thought that was outstanding.
Yeah.
I mean,
During a dinner.
Well,
During a swanky dinner.
Yeah.
He
He went to the toilet in the middle of a dinner.
Yeah.
I
wouldn't have
to come and talk to us.
I wouldn't have gone to the England South Africa game if it weren't for Carl. I went on his tickets.
There we go. So the power of the pod.
Yeah, indeed.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually also thought Richie Marshall was good value.
Yeah.
Richie,
RIT specialist.
I thought Richie Marshall was good value, and also Finn Baxter, but he seemed a little media trained until we got him to talk about his sing song on the bus.
Nice.
Yeah.
You unlocked that. Duncan, who would you, out of everyone we met, who would you like to go for dinner with?
I reckon actually going for dinner with Dick on Moon would be pretty good, because he puts his
Spill
cards
the
out on the
beans.
table, and he's not afraid to say things. So
He wears his heart on his sleeve to stick on Moon.
yeah. No, I think he'd be great.
Nice. I'm guessing it'll be pasties for dinner. But
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's fine.
25 pasties, and he won't let you leave until they're all gone.
Yeah. Was there any controversial bits from any of the guests, or did everyone go
Pastygate.
like
Pastygate with Dick on.
Pastygate?
Furious.
Pastygate,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Stewie had a couple of swears.
Yeah. Stu had a these kind of ones. Billy trying his absolute best to not mention like any of the professional rugby that he played. Was kind of a bit weird until Pete said, like, haven't you spent the majority of your time in the rugby world being paid to do it, Billy?
He spent so much time talking around it that I think we had to cut about 5 minutes out in editing before we published the pod. How about who's been the most impressive? As in, who's gone on to do the greatest things since we've interviewed him?
Friend of the pod, Emily Lunn.
Yeah.
Representing her country.
I'd agree with that.
All you need to do to get selected for England, Zach Mercer, is to
Get on the pod, son.
Is to come on the pod.
Did Finn not play for England A?
Finn did play for England A, but he played for England A in like the weird training game against a lot of men wearing Portugal rugby shirts, who I'm not sure actually did play for Portugal.
I think there was a common theme with our guests in that they were all very, very passionate about like their thing. If you know what I mean. So like Dave Silver with his medical knowledge and the concussion stuff, and Tyrone Lawless talking to us about Surrey rugby, and Gavin Bolton about his role, and it was I think it actually just shows that there are a lot of passionate people out there.
Yeah,
certainly.
Passion gets you in the pot. That what you're saying?
Yeah,
I think so.
Just be passionate.
Okay.
Love what you do.
I mean, even Ollie Fielding, he did the fundraiser, the Movember stuff. Everybody's got a note next to them. Yeah.
Movember.
I remember
Pete,
that.
your slug was amazing.
I remember that beautiful Mo, Pete.
Yeah.
Yeah,
still
you should
sad.
totally do it. Well, November's around the corner.
Yeah,
I can't wait. I really can't wait to do it all again.
There's no time like now, Pete. Like to get that.
Summer's coming.
That horse grooming brush out again.
Yeah, maybe not.
It was beautiful.
Yeah, was it?
Captain Christie of the Home Guard.
Yeah.
One of my favourite moments, by the way, from a guest in the pod was when Ollie. Remember Ollie? We was talking about Movember, and he just talked about what the club meant with your mates and chatting away, and just a bit of time out and a bit of space for mental health. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Talked about it at work the very next day. Hello, Ollie. How about? I'm going to put you all in the, because this isn't in the notes. I'm going to put you all on the block here. Pete.
Yeah.
What's favourite bit of the pod?
My favourite bit?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. I think listening back to them afterwards, because I think when you're in the middle of it, trying to remember your stuff and the work you've done in preparation, which, not hours and hours, but and then listening back.
Especially your stuff, Pete, because you give us like the bird's eye view of kind of, who's kicked a rugby ball in Surrey over the last 6 days.
Yeah. But the favourite bit has been listening back to them and having a real laugh. I mean, that actually genuinely nearly wet myself laughing. on a couple of occasions. Just,
But
just
that's why we got you those
I
pants.
know, and I'm wearing a pair now.
Yeah.
I reckon, Mick, it was the highlight for me was easily the Christmas jerk chicken night at the Snannex was good fun.
Jobless, boy.
Jobless.
Oh, it was fantastic. Was that when I almost recolored all of Blissey's bright white sweater?
Yes.
Right
Oh
then.
yeah,
So,
my lovely brand new white sweater. Which, to be fair, I will say, looking back, that wearing that to an occasion that was going to more or less revolve around red wine and port was probably a bit of a was a fairly kind of bold roll of the dice.
You've made better decisions, Blissy. You have definitely.
I have.
yeah. Blissey, your favorite. What was your favorite?
So Duncan's taking the Christmas party. So I will say one of my favorite moments would definitely kind of be the interrogation of Chris Melton. Melton's an absolutely class guy, a seamless and relentless operator. There's no way we'd be doing as well as a rugby club and organisation as we are without the big cheese. But sitting him down and asking some questions into exactly how much he takes away in an unmarked brown envelope to add to his retirement fund, as well as the various kind of
how many man hours he puts in a week.
Disciplinary bits and pieces and various administrative tasks that he has to undertake to get, two groups of professionally established, fully grown men to turn up with the right kit at the right time on a Saturday, which should be a lot easier than it is. But we make his life interesting.
What about you, Mick?
It's going to be something like probably on a Sunday, kids from one of the other mini sections coming over and saying, "Am I going to be in the pod this weekend?" And realizing that actually it was quite useful, and it was a good that we're doing something and we're keeping the kids a bit more involved in the game. Speaking to guys like Nishi who say that his kids love it and listening to the car. That was pretty cool, and anything that we can do to keep interest in the game that we love. I thought that was pretty cool, and long may it continue.
Indeed.
Yeah.
How about the mailbag? There was loads of other stuff in the mailbag as well, and there was Pete. I'm going to ask you something about the 60th anniversary of Old Serbs' unbeaten season. What's that?
Yeah, they went season 63-64, I think, from memory, and they went unbeaten, but they were also unbeaten for a large part of the previous season. They were almost 18 months without losing a game. But you guys won't remember because you weren't born then. But
you'd retired already.
Yeah, thank you. In 1963,
I coached that team, says Pete.
We had the worst winter. We had snow on the ground for 3 months. Pitches were frozen. No rugby took place from sort of January right through to the end of March. It was just incredible. But yeah, 60th anniversary, and actually in October it's the 75th anniversary of being at the Memorial Ground. And one of the guys, a guy called Roger King, who's a member of the Braemar All-Stars, Roger played in the very first game at the club on the 17th of December, 1949. He played for the school against an old Surbitonion's A15. So he's actually moved away, retired. So we've just had a photograph of him at the 2011 memorial framed, and we're actually having a replica of the programme from that 17th of December 1949 game made for him. So if you're listening, Roger, it's on its way, mate. There we go.
Brilliant. Love that, pal. Another question. Why is the Waterfall Cup called the Waterfall Cup?
Do you know the answer to this, or are you asking us?
I'm furiously Googling it right now. I have no idea.
Is it to do with how the matches are played? That whilst you're
Googling it, shall we come up with why we think it is?
Yeah, on you go.
I think
So-
it's named after a Mr. Waterfall.
I'd say it has to do with that it's not just straight knockout. So you continue playing throughout all the teams play, and so if you lose, you drop down and play a different team.
I reckon it's because back in the 18th century, early British explorers discovered the cup as it was hidden there by the native Canadians
Under a waterfall.
Listen, you're right.
Under the Niagara Falls. See,
I just checked it. You're absolutely no, you're not. You're not. You're absolutely wrong. It looks like it's the shape of the draw. So you play the game at the top, it filters down to the next one, it filters down to the one after that. So now we know. Cracking.
I prefer the idea that the various age groups of Surrey play for a cursed native Canadian cup that contains the souls of their dead chiefs.
Like with that.
But hey ho.
Question for Duncan. What creature is on the Cobham emblem?
A lion.
Which lion?
A lion rampant?
No.
What's their name?
Well, I mean, I give up.
It's the Lion of St. Mark.
The lion of?
St. Mark.
Oh, I should know that. Well, I'll have to get a Cobham tattoo like TC.
Follow up question, Pete. Who's St. Mark?
I have no idea.
I'm right here, bless you.
Last question.
Where's your lion, Mark?
It's on my calf.
Last question in the mailbag. Would you rather have a shower or a bath? I don't
Shower.
understand the
Shower.
relevance of it, really, as such.
But like after rugby, I've
Oh,
never bathed with a bunch of guys after rugby. A shower, I'm okay.
Absolutely, yeah, you're missing out.
Shower time.
Duncan, I don't know because I think you're on a phone, aren't you? Can you see these notes here?
What
can't
notes?
see you.
We don't use notes.
Okay, fine. I'll read them out. Just a wee note from the mailbag again. Thanks to George, big George Pickersgill.
Oh yeah, George Pickerel, Pickersgill.
Yeah. After something like 7 seasons, he's moved on from the club. So we wish him all the best with his next coaching role. And he will, of course, always be welcome back at Cobham. Where's he off to? Do we know?
Particularly if it's going to be turning out for the All Stars.
100%.
Yeah, because he didn't mind putting his boots on every now and then to help out the ones and twos. So and he's got a pass on him. So yeah, where's he going, bless you?
I do not know.
Okay.
Unfortunately, maybe moving on to another club. He's obviously going to be a Dr. Pickersgill at one stage.
Oh, okay.
So he might have to be stepping back to some of his homework.
Nice.
But yes, we wish him all the best. And yeah, he's been fantastic for us, the team and a club.
We've got a couple of birthdays. Billy Davo's just had his birthday, I think, very recently.
Yes.
And the IT legend, Richie Marshall. I think he's 59 this year, Richie. Is that right?
Again?
Oh, okay. I've fallen for that one.
He's been 59 the last 5 years.
Yeah. He keeps saying, I'll play my last season when I turn 60.
Yeah. That would explain it.
I love it. Well, there we go, guys. There's the final pod.
Well, wait. No, I want to talk about the Prem in Europe.
Yeah, whoa.
Have we got time?
Yes.
Sneezy, have we got time?
Yeah.
I have ill-informed opinions to air, sir.
I want to hear In the Bath with Blissy.
Oh yeah. No, we've got a whole in the bath segment to talk about.
Go on, Blissy.
Okay, so this, as always, welcome to Talking in the Bath with me, Luke Bliss. They lost.
They did.
And that was Talking in the Bath with me, Luke Bliss.
Excellent. I always enjoy that section. It's very informative and Def Alex loves it.
Thank you.
They
Very exciting one this
With
week,
injuries.
I think. Yeah.
With injuries, right?
Mick, I've only got
Alfie Barbary fumbling the bag straight to Ross Vincent. Yikes.
Yikes.
Who is the most South African guy ever? Like, it is so funny. I was listening to Exeter Uni play Bath in the Bucks semi-final, and they had him on comms. And I thought, like, you know, considering he like went to school over here and whatnot, and had lived in Dubai before, that he'd lost some of it. But no, he's 100% South African. He doesn't even he sounds more South African than people that live their whole life in South Africa. But
It's,
good for him.
It's the first 13 years of your life.
Yeah,
that
he's also
define it.
Yeah, he also
You're right,
needs
Mick.
to have a while.
Mick, are you all right?
Absolutely fine. Didn't know who
It was the
was.
Waterfall Cup, wasn't it? That's what's done it for you. Lee.
I may have just sent
Only-
a quick message to say, last 5 minutes, please, lads. The
Okay,
toilet.
I only had 2
All right.
points. 2 points, Mick.
Go
What
on.
amazes me is the Prem is teams 2nd through 8. So that's 7 teams. All have
Yeah.
8 wins and 6 losses.
Yep.
And are only separated by bonus points, and there's 7 points between them. So this season is going to go down to the last game. It's going to be it's going to be brilliant. But the other point I had was just, I know that you guys like the European Champions Cup, but I like the Challenge Cup, and the reason I like the Challenge Cup is that there are 7 nations out of the final 8 teams.
Nice.
And only Ireland have 2 teams in. You know, that's Scotland, Wales, England, Ireland with 2, France, Italy, and South Africa. And that's just brilliant. You know, that's a great advert for the game. You look at the other side of in the Champions Cup, and you know, La Rochelle
Only
performed
one Irish team in the quarterfinals.
3 French, 3 English, 1 Irish, and 1 South African. And then the Northampton are going to win. And then
Well, that was what I was going to say. Like, what are our quarterfinal predictions?
Northampton to win. Bordeaux, they look unstoppable at the moment.
Yeah.
You know, and then I really don't like Leinster, so I'm going to go with La Rochelle to turn them over.
Oof.
I watched the Leinster game. Or was it? No, it was Leicester.
Yeah.
And Leinster they look really good. I thought.
Well, I mean, it's basically the
Ireland.
Irish team. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, the like the best funded club team in the world. You know, subsidized by their. You look at France have got 14 teams. Ireland have 1 team and 3 other teams.
3 feeders.
And Toulouse, I think Toulouse will have too much for Exeter. You know, they are a historic European superpower, and they seem to be clicking again. And so, you know, I could see them go, you know, that's pretty much all home quarterfinal wins, but I would prefer La Rochelle to go through over Leinster, but I don't really see it happening.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, Mark, I think kind of I too would love La Rochelle to march into Leinster and somehow pull their pants down. But I think
I was there when they did.
Yeah, but I think the only team that I think has a realistic chance of an upset is Bulls going to Saints, just because they're pure chaos. I think that if they do turn the whole thing into a handshake agreement, no defending chaps game, then they have a shot. But
it's true. But
Saints did look bloody good against Munster and have looked bloody good the last couple of weeks, except when they went to Bristol and didn't do defending. So
I've got a bit of I've got the ick with Jake White. I think he just bitches and moans too much, and just makes, you know, just blames everything else. And I haven't really enjoyed his stint as Bulls coach, and you know, he keeps sticking the knife into Saru, the South African Rugby Union, and I just don't think he's a positive for the game. The Bulls have got some good players, but the international travel, I think, is just too much of an impact. And Northampton, you know, they're looking good in the Prem. They're a well drilled and organized team, and I think that they'll have too much for the Bulls.
Can I just mention, we talked about the top end of the game of rugby. I just want to say congratulations to Reigate Rugby Club. 16 wins from 16 games. They actually made a complete unbeaten season. The only side in all of the Surrey leagues that went unbeaten. So well done, Reigate Rugby Club. 4 marks.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well done.
The feel good story that we all needed. Well done, Reigate.
Is that old Reigations or
No, this is
Reigate?
Reigate Rugby Club.
Okay.
Reigate Rugby Club.
Brilliant.
So
Well done.
they're
Yeah.
going for the old Serbs under 18. Oh, sorry, 18 months unbeaten record. Then
Maybe we'll see.
go. We'll follow them with keen interest.
We shall. There's maybe a couple of interesting things a couple of kind of 3 rugby stories that will have matured by the time we all.
Oh, Mick, how did Glasgow do on Friday?
They lost.
I think, yeah, they lost.
Oh.
They lost. I think it was a straight loss. Three things to maybe look forward to that we can mull over the course of the next few months as we come back slightly stronger on the Cob Pod. One is the World Club Rugby Cup, which is slated for 2028.
Yes.
The second
Intriguing.
is I have it on authority that Wasps have just hit a couple of very important milestones to secure their return to rugby.
Again.
Yeah, and the third one is Louis Rees-Zammit might just do enough time in the USA to become an official US resident that would qualify him to play for America.
Oh, that's actually a great stat. I like that.
Maybe.
That would be
If he stayed there for 3 years and then like switched allegiances.
Maybe he does. Are we
Uh,
happy,
and
lads?
played their sport
Yeah,
and then played
it's-
rugby for them.
I've loved doing the pod.
Yikes.
It has been good fun, and
It has.
there's been good backwards and forwards. I've really enjoyed it.
Well, so listen, thanks to everyone who's downloaded, listened, shared. I know this pod reaches different parts of the world with people who have either spent a bit of time in Cobham or have happened upon us by accident. And there is, there's a chunk of work that goes on behind the scenes. So Podfather Sneed, thanks, pal, for pushing, prodding, poking, getting guests in the pod. To Alex, to Deaf Alex, who gets all the notes from all the coaches and chases them down, to producer Mark, who fiddles with buttons and goes out of his way to make things happen. Pete,
To the guests.
Duncan, thanks
Yeah.
for all your inputs to all the guests. It's been a cracking good fun for the year. It's not goodbye.
You've
It's
been an
just-
excellent host, Mick.
It's just au revoir.
Mhm.
And I think we'll be back quite soon, actually, with a few tweaks, some more guests,
Yeah.
some more
Isn't it?
interaction.
It's bientôt.
Bientôt.
Bientôt. There you
Um,
go.
if you do have any suggestions, recommendations, if you know a guy who knows a girl that would like to come and speak in a pod, just drop us an email at cobhampod@gmail.com. And I think that's it. So from Pete, bye-bye, Pete.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye, Blissy.
So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen.
See you later, Duncan.
Bye.
Cheers, all.
This has been a mock reproduction.
Excuse me.